Hey, welcome to this Leading to Lean online training video on our E-Kanban Planner screen. The E-Kanban Planner is used to schedule orders in the production module. It is a great tool for managing various orders through a single line. In addition, it allows you to see other events impacting the line, such as PMs or breakdowns. You can also schedule your pitch demand from the E-Kanban Planner based on your various orders scheduled. All right, let's get started. From the main menu, go ahead and open the Production tab, then open the E-Kanban Planner. Okay, I'm going to start at the top and show you some of the features that we have of the E-Kanban Planner. Across the top here, this is going to take you, we have some quick links here that'll take you to some different pages that we have. The first being the Order Planner screen. I have a video for the Order Planner screen if you're not familiar with the capability of that. We're currently on the E-Kanban Planner screen. That's this screen that we have here. The calendar view. So if you want to see the calendar view for this particular line, you can click on this and it'll show you the calendar view. Or the schedule. So this is the pitch schedule for this particular line. It'll also take you to the operator portal for the line that you have selected. Or you can click Add New, which will allow you to add a new order. We also have a couple of different views. The first being a pure list view, which you'll see here. It'll show you the list of the orders. And we also have a calendar view. It'll show you a different calendar view here, where you can view it on a daily, weekly, or monthly view. The monthly view is a pretty good view for this here. Or you can do a combination of list and calendar view, which is this one here. I'm going to use the list and calendar view going forward for the rest of this training video. Okay, the next section that we have here is some of the filters for the E-Kanban Planner. You'll notice we have an area filter. This is going to show you the different areas that you have in your facility, followed by the line. So it's going to drill down when you select various areas. It'll only show the lines within those areas. In addition, the E-Kanban Planner only shows one line at a time. So for example, if I wanted to look at line 2, I could select this one or line 1 like we have here. Another feature that we have is this is going to default to show you the scheduled orders. So all orders, in order to be scheduled on the pitch boards, need to be in a status of scheduled. You'll see these here all say scheduled. For example, if you had orders that were in ready to build or new, you can actually do some mass updates of the statuses from here. For example, if you were to click on this and say I only wanted to see not scheduled or ready to build or new, as I stated, you could select the various statuses that you have, and then you can change that order status by clicking this button here, and you can change it to the new status. So if you were going to be scheduling them, like I'm going to show you here in just a moment, you'd want to put them in a scheduled status, but you can change them to whichever status is applicable to your application. And then you just click this Set Status button, and that'll change the status for those particular orders. I'm going to hit Cancel here because I've actually already set the statuses. In addition, you can also filter by the order status, or the order quantity in this field here. We also have filters for various products. So if you wanted to look at just a particular product, you can select a particular product and then refresh, and it'll only show you that product. Or you can select to view all products. And I'll refresh. Keep in mind this refresh is a really important key step. Anytime you make any changes to the filters, you're going to want to use the refresh to apply those filters to the page. Okay, then we also have some filters around dates. So we have a scheduled start date, so you can select a specific start date or a specific end date or a specific due date and end. And this is going to basically filter various orders down so that you're only going to see the orders that happen to fall between these date ranges that you've selected here. Then you can refresh and it'll populate this order list. Okay, easy enough. So this list that you see here is all the various orders that we have currently for this line in the system. You can see it's got all the details from the product order. And if you're not familiar with all of the details around these specific orders, check out our video on building a new product order. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually show you a couple of different features that we have of the E-Kanban Planner. And I'm actually going to use probably the 72-hour view because that's probably a little bit better view. So all of the orders that I have in the system here, these 5 orders, are showing up on this one line, line 1. And you'll notice that they're starting on Tuesday the 21st at 7 p.m. And there's no real rhyme or reason to these orders. So they've basically just been put into the system, and they're not really scheduled in any method that makes sense for this line, because this line won't be able to run 5 orders all at the same time, for example here at 1 a.m. So what we want to do is we actually want to schedule these orders. And we're going to do that by using this feature set that we have here. And what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to schedule these orders here in a couple of different ways. So based on the various products, you can schedule it based on what's going to provide the least changeover or minimal changeovers for your various orders. Or you can schedule it once per day. So if you wanted to run one product only once per day, for example, these two, I have 2 of each, the 12 and the 18 product here. If I only wanted to run these once per day, I could schedule them once per day, and there would be one maybe for Tuesday and then one order for Wednesday. You could also do once per shift, and that would schedule one order maybe on a first shift and then one order on a second shift, and if you had 3 of them, one order on a third shift, and so on. In addition, we also have what we call Hijunka Ideal. And Hijunka Ideal basically is a leveling of the orders. So it's going to schedule in the least waste way and then level load those orders across the schedule. The last one is what we call Redistribute. This is a great tool if you actually get behind on your schedule and you've missed schedules. For example, these 3 that I have on the bottom. Maybe you have things scheduled and you just want to push the schedule out maybe to the next day with the same order layout that you have in the existing schedule. You can use the Redistribute. So if you fall behind in your schedule, that's okay. We have a feature set and we call that Redistribute, which will just push that schedule out for the line to complete. So what I'm going to do now is show you how you can schedule using the E-Kanban Planner. So we have a start and end on, and we also have a schedule by. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on, we'll say now, and I'm going to say done here, and I want to end, I'll say the end of the day tomorrow or Wednesday. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to take this time frame when your start and when your end is, and it's going to schedule either by quantity or by cycle time. Okay, and this is important because what this step does is it's actually scheduling the demand on the operator portal in the demand column. So you already have your pitch schedules scheduled in the system, but you probably have no demand scheduled in there until we go ahead and set that demand. So I'm going to do that here. A couple of options. You can do it by cycle time or quantity. If you have your products set up in the system, you should have cycle times in there. So that's a great way to do it, and that's how I'm going to do it today. I'm going to set this up and launch this one using the Hijunka Ideal, which will level the schedule for us between these 2 date ranges. All right, so if I click this button here, all right, you notice how it actually scheduled those orders. So if we looked at a week here, we're going to see it basically scheduled all those orders one right after another. And the most efficient way of completing those orders or level loading those orders over that scheduled date that we had selected. So we'll go back here. You can see all those orders here. So that's a great way to basically go in and schedule those orders really quick and easy. You can also do it using the once per shift or the once per day or minimal changeovers. It really just depends on what your process, how it works, and what's best for your application or your facility. Also, and if you got behind schedule, you could use the Redistribute, and it would basically push this existing schedule out. Just to show you a couple of other cool features that we have, you can also view various statuses on the calendar here. And in addition, you can also view dispatches. You'll notice it defaults to hide dispatches, but if you wanted to be able to see like, hey, do I have a PM that needs to be completed at the same time that I'm scheduling an order, you could click this drop down and see planned work dispatches, for example, PMs, or all dispatches. You also can see in the past. So if for some reason you want to see like, hey, why did this order not get completed? Why is it past due? You could also show like your code red dispatches. and it would show you, hey, we had a really long breakdown, and that's what pushed the schedule out. So the dispatches is a really cool way to see what's impacting production in the future and also what has impacted production in the past. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, check out our other videos or shoot us an email at support@leadingtolean.com. Thank you.